Hey y'all, well, today we get to work on that Conway to heaven. We're in the garage because, if you can tell, I'm a little wet. It started raining on me. I had to vacuum out my truck because I had ants in it. Children. Well, it's my fault for not keeping my truck clean. But it's because the children have dropped stuff. Whatever. So, I'm going to pull everything into the garage, start rebuilding the Conway to heaven. Alright, so you can tell this thing right here has been put through the ringer a little bit. It's quite wobbly. It's got its use out of it, right? So the difference between what we have here and what we're going to do is the fact that the bottom pieces on this, those pieces were rough cut 2x4s, so they were not pressure treated, and they're, like I said, they're 2x4s. So what we're doing different this time is we're going to actually use pressure treated. You got a 2x4 to go up here. Pressure treated 2x4 for right here. I didn't know you could buy like just little pieces, but apparently you can. And then I've got 2x6s pressure treated for that bottom right there. And then this board, the main beam, is actually a fence post. It's actually pretty fine, but I'm actually still going to change it out, rebuild, and use, I have a pressure treated actual 4x4 square. It'll give me a little bit better stability. So essentially we will rebuild the whole thing.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
I'm not even going to take that apart. I'm just going to rebuild the whole thing. I wanted to sharpen my pencil with my knife, and the most tragic thing has happened. I have lost my knife, and I know exactly where I lost it, and it was in the lake, Lake Murray. We went tubing with some really fun friends. Insert clip here.
They jumped ship.
And my knife fell out of my pocket because I completely forgot it was in there. So, luckily I have more knives, but I missed my knife. Sad. So what I just did with the top of this board, of the post, is I had a hole in it because it was a pull-up bar. I just never used it. So there's a hole in the top, so basically I just squared it off so I can get a straight measurement. This is 66 inches, and so I want to cut this to 66 inches, and luckily from where I cut it, it ends before where it was in the dirt, so I'll still have good quality wood and holding up everything. If you look on this one, you can see where I basically made, I don't know the exact, I would call it like a step joint. There's some, it's probably called something else, but I cut into the wood so it offsets this board into the wood more, gives you more surface area rather than just being screwed onto the outside. So obviously this one isn't perfectly in, the middle, but not worry about this one. We're going to do the same thing with this one. So this is a 4x4, and of course that's a 2x4. So we will cut this in roughly 2 inches. Now, if you know anything about lumber, most of the time a 2x4 is not actually 2 inches wide, or 2 inches wide, or 4 inches wide, thick. 2 inches thick and 4 inches wide. They are actually 3.5 inches wide and 1.5 inches thick. Why that is, I don't officially know, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the saw blades as they're milling them. Because when I ordered this is an actual 2x4. It's 2 inches wide, actual 4 inches. I messed that up again. 4 inches wide, 2 inches thick. So pretty sure it has to do with that, or could have to do with spacing with building. I don't know, materials. But just so you know that when you buy lumber, it's not an actual 2x4. So we will be cutting in to our 4x4 an inch and a half. So on my saw, you can see it has an 1.5 inch mark. I will take it and adjust it. See, I'm gonna focus. You'll see where we're cutting. It'll just only take out that much of the board. And I'll still have good backing to screw that 2x4 into. So what we're gonna do, it won't be cutting this way. We'll actually be cutting like this. That way, we're just gonna rip along the board this way, roughly 3.5 inches. By the way, it's called a lap joint. It just came to me. So, boom. We are getting there. I love doing those because it does make it a lot sturdy. Because, again, the bird's flopping around and stuff. And this will shift and do all stuff. So, that definitely gives it a lot more stability. So, my thought is to use this piece I cut off, or it'd be easier to use this one. So, use this piece as a spacer instead of trying to finagle the top. I can just slide it down. I use this as a spacer like this, and like this, and like this, and that way I can cut my spacing boards like I need. Drill it all together. Boop, boop. I'm gonna pop that out. I think that's a good idea, Jazzy. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. So what I'm doing, come here, come here, come here. I'm marking my center line of this board and my center line of here, so I can line them up. That way when I have my spacer going, it's in the center and I can keep it all good. I will tell you that sometimes my brain does work, just like with my earmuffs, just to hold my pencil rather than just putting a hat on. Why do y'all watch me? What's wrong with y'all? Obviously, we now have to cut our spacers. So, why am I measuring? It's 3.5 inches. What's up, Sugar Pea? Rebuild the kill conway ahead. What you doing? Alright, then you want to cut? You want to cut? You want to make a cut? I get some goggles.
Goggles.
I don't know. I'll show you some of that. Clean my truck. Come on, come here. This as a guide. You know. Push this down, squeeze the trigger. It's a little less than 3.5, but I really just wanted her to get the experience of using the saw. I don't care. I can cut more. I got a whole board over there, so let's cut another one. Just like that. Boom. There's the first piece of the base. Now we're gonna work on these two. What size are these? About 2 foot. Okay, here we are. New and improved.
Better. Stronger.
I mean, it's still basically the same setup, but just better wood. It's a lot more sturdy. I did put the cones on the edges a little bit further out because on the old one they were closer in and it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of hindered some of the swiping motion of the cut. So I got this board in for behind here, so they're a lot more sturdy. Put those back on, buckets, screws. Okay, I will tell you, this was a bit of a procrastination project because I knew and had been needing to work on the kill cone setup for a while because the other one, of course, was falling apart. After the last chicken butchering class I did, it held up well, but I needed to prop it up too much and was worried about it falling. And then tomorrow I have a client that I'm going to their property to help them butcher some birds and stuff too. So I want something good and sturdy, so I went ahead and got the stuff I needed to make it hopefully last a lot longer and be a lot more sturdy. So this will be good. I do have another chicken butchering class coming up October, the first Sunday in October, or Saturday in October. I think it's the 5th. I don't have my phone on me right this second because usually somebody's calling me whenever I'm trying to do a video. So the link will be in the description, so check it out if you're interested in coming out here. Please do, because it's a good time and you can learn how to process some chickens. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of this thing. It looks nice. I think it's going to hold up well. So yeah, well, appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll catch you in the next one.